Watch some of the Olympics. I have about that much. But it's fascinating to see that, the United States has probably put together one of the best female gymnastic teams maybe the world's ever had. And they're expected to win, and so far what has been expected they are doing. Or maybe we're kind of in awe of Michael Phelps at his now Olympic appearances and has already won cumulative 21 gold medals beside some other ones along the way. Or maybe you're kind of fascinated that, and I forget her name, it's a female swimmer, that she's basically racing against her own records and has won the gold medals. Yeah, we're interested in the winners and we're interested in what the United States is doing. But I read something kind of interesting, and this was not of a United States citizen, neither was it of a winner. In fact, he was a loser. His name is Robel Kiros Habti, and he's one of the best swimmers in Ethiopia. And of course, that's evident because he was chosen by Ethiopia to represent them at the Olympics. He's not the typical swimmer. In fact, he doesn't have the build of a swimmer. And he doesn't really swim like an Olympic athlete. In fact, he finished dead last, 59th, in the qualifying heats of the 100-meter freestyle. And he finished, the other two that were swimming with him in this qualifying heat, it was almost as if they get to the end and he's a third of the pool behind them. He's not even close. He's so far behind, it's almost even as if, why finish the race? Okay, I know, hey, you're in the water. You don't finish the race, you're in trouble. But he was there. In fact, kind of one thing, I read about this and it's kind of like, he was a pudgy man that was a swimmer in the Olympics. Well, that was better than a pudgy man who's sitting there watching the Olympics. Thought that was kind of true. The point is, he was there, he was in the race. As far as Christianity goes, it's compared to a race at times in Paul's writings. And we might think, I can't run the race like Paul did. I can't run the race like Peter did. I can't run the race like the Apostle John did. Or I can't run the race like Barnabas did. Or I can't run the race like Silas did. And on we could go, mentioning some New Testament Christians that kind of rise head and shoulders above so many. That's not really the point, is it? The point is that we're in the race and that we finish the race. Paul said in 2 Timothy chapter 4, as he was making mention of his impending death, he said in verse 8, "For I am already being poured out as a drink offering, and the time of my departure has come. I fought the good fight." And then he says, "I finished the race." Here he's making the Christian life kind of similar to the games. I've finished the race. I've kept the faith. Henceforth there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award me on that day. Well, as you watch the Olympics, it's only finishing first, second, and third that you get a prize. Everybody's an also ran. This fellow that was 59th in this swimming event, he was behind everybody else. He didn't win a thing. But I'm glad the Christian race is not that way. Because as you keep reading, he says, "And not only to me, this crown that he will award, not only to me, but also to all who have loved his appearing." You see, we can also be in this race. We can also finish this race. And if we don't finish it exactly like Paul did or Peter did or the Apostle John did, we still have that same reward, that crown of righteousness. But the important thing to ask ourselves, are we in that race and are we finishing that race? If we can assist you in your obedience, if there's a need for immersion tonight, if with faith you've turned from your sin, we'd give you opportunity to confess that faith and then assist you in being baptized for the forgiveness of sins. If there's a need for prayer, we'd be glad to pray for you. If you need to come, please come as we stand and sing.